Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the Round Table of Dim Lighting, we're gonna help you sketch a nude model. We're gonna help you deliver a baby. We're gonna help you pronounce words that Rhett can't say.
That's right.
We're gonna have a good time, even though I don't feel great. I think
Emotionally?
Physically.
Spiritually?
Dude. Physically.
Physically.
I just feel like my stomach's a little off, my head's a little off, and you know what I think it is? I think it's alcohol.
Oh, because we had alcohol last night.
I consumed alcohol last night, and I'm not gonna say that I'm hungover, because I'm not hungover. I don't have a headache, but I just have an offness that, you know, now that everybody's talking about
Alcohol being poison?
how much of it, how poisonous it is.
I'm interested
maybe
to see.
Maybe I'm manifesting it, but because I don't believe in that, really, I don't think. Maybe practically, but not metaphysically. I just don't know about manifestation. But I think I'm noticing that I don't really want to drink alcohol. Because,
Well, I was...
especially
Ooh.
last night, because now I'm waking up and I'm feeling gross. But hey, you know,
Yeah.
it was a party, and we had to go to the party.
Yeah, I've got bad things going on.
Me, you, and Steven went to the party, and now you're looking at your
My ring
Aura
knows.
ring.
My ring knows that I had a bad night last night too, and all I had was.
What are you learning specifically?
Well, it just said.
I'm not wearing my ring.
My,
I'm not even wearing my wedding ring right now. I'm in a free time right now for my hands.
Oh, are you getting into? What are you doing? Sculpting?
I did something. I can't remember. A day before yesterday, and I got some new speakers. I was putting them in at the Creative House. We'll tell you about the party in a second, but now I need to tell you about these speakers.
I got other speakers for the Creative House. Did you see those?
Oh, my speaker's a lot bigger than your speakers.
I just got new monitors.
You got a
for
little
the studio.
dinky studio monitor. I got some big ass house speakers to complete my DJ setup at the Creative House. And when I'm unboxing these things,
Did he go bare hand?
I took my rings off because I didn't want my rings to scratch the
Right.
speakers.
Did you take a shower before you unboxed them? Like I did the first time I ever had a MacBook. The first MacBook I ever received, what year would that have been? 2005, 6?
You were definitely a grown-ass man.
I was a grown man with a
laptop.
child, and I received it in the mail.
It was
and
a
I
big
took
moment.
it out, and then I'd never seen an Apple product before like that. And I like looked at the box, and then I started to touch it, and then I was like, I need to shower.
And then you backed off?
I went upstairs, I took a shower, I tucked my shirt in, put my black turtleneck on. No, I came downstairs and I unboxed it because I could have just washed my hands.
I washed my hands, but I didn't take a
But just the
shower.
only time I've ever showered before encountering a piece of technology.
I can't say that I've
I
ever
look
done
forward
that.
to the next time, honestly. If you got to take a shower to be ready for a piece of technology, it's probably worth your time.
Yeah.
Anyway, you didn't shower, but you took your rings off.
Yeah, and now I haven't put them back on because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give my hands a little freeness.
But you know what you do by doing this? There's the type of person, I've noticed that there's not a small number of them, that take any indication or anything that happens. Link's not wearing his wedding ring. Link's not doing this. Rhett's not doing it. And then they just take it and they run with it. And
they make stories up
me and
in their
you
heads.
have actually, in part, them to thank for continuing to be relevant, Link. Because if people who made baseless assumptions based on minor observations didn't exist, I think we'd be out of business.
Huh. Yeah, it definitely churns the conversation.
Right.
So,
All press is good press. Well, probably not. But
back to the party last night. We went to the Billboard Music Awards party, which I thought we were going to the Billboard Music Awards until I realized that they weren't happening.
they weren't happening.
apparently a company has acquired both Billboard Music Awards and the Streamy Awards.
And their first course of action was to not have the awards for
either one of them. So I don't know
what the hell's going on there.
That means we get, in the grand scheme of a career, maybe we get one less Streamy. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win a Streamy, but we could. We always could win.
You think they'll double up next year when they come back? You're telling me that 2024 is gonna be the year that was forever lost?
Yeah. I think they'll just because they gave out the Billboard Awards without a ceremony.
They didn't even give out Streamies at all.
Exactly. But they had. So that kind of hurts my feelings.
Yeah, I'm hurt. I'm barely over it.
But we did go to the party, like the after party that came after nothing. And I was interested because
people who make music.
It's music people, and I like schmoozing with music people.
Me and Stevie just sat in the corner, talked to each other about television shows.
I moved you at one point though, because I made a round, and then I came back.
If you find somebody interesting, I'll come join you.
Yeah, y'all posted up, and then I made a round to see if I could find somebody worth coming back and telling you that you should now talk to them as well.
I really like when Stevie goes to a party with us because I can just be like, okay, I've got somebody to talk to. Because if me and you go to a party, you just go off on your own, and then I'm just like, I don't like doing this.
Yeah,
I think I've definitively decided that I just do not like the atmosphere of a party. I'm just finally like a party of people that I know, or a party of people that I would like to know. I'm game for that. Yeah. But a party of people who I kind of don't care to know.
Well, but how do you know unless you talk to them?
Sometimes you can just look.
Oh gosh, there's good people to meet and talk to everywhere, Rhett. If you're just willing.
I think it's all about the ratios, though.
If you're just willing to give it a shot.
I think it's all about the ratios.
No, just send me out. And you know what? Honestly, I was with you on this one last night. I made the round. I saw and struck up a conversation with hip hop and TV dating legend Flavor Flav. I did not tell him that he was like my middle school hero for some reason. I just thought he was the best. Mm-hmm. He was just so funny and hype. I always loved the hype man. Chuck D was a little too
thoughtful?
A little too thoughtful for me. I had to go with this guy who knew what time it was. Because he wore it as a clock.
You identified with the guy who was known mostly for saying, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
to whatever Chuck D said.
Right. It does say a lot. But, it's like, even driving home, I was reflecting on it because I did decide I'm not going to get Stevie and Rhett to meet Flavor Flav.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I love him. I follow him on Blue Sky.
My thought on the way home about Flavor Flav was, man, if middle school me would know that I had just met Flavor Flav and I didn't even think that much of it.
Oh, jaded much?
I'd be like, what has happened to me?
It's not what's happened to you, because we talked about this last night as we were sitting there, one of the times when you came and sat with us.
Yeah.
And that is, the thing I think I said to you is, I don't like using the term famous, but I think I probably used the term famous because the term famous means something completely different. I was like, fame means something completely different than it did when we were kids. Because if you had told us as kids that we would go to the Billboard music party or any parties, different things that we've been to, we would have been like, oh, so you're telling me that quote unquote famous people are going to be at this thing and we're going to be on some level considered to be one of them. It would have, in our minds, when we were kids, it was, if you went to a place like that, it would be, oh, there's somebody that everyone in the world or everyone in the country knows.
Fame was not a common thing.
But the internet has let so many stragglers in like us. Mm-hmm. And so
just stumbling through the doors.
So fame is this thing that happens in pockets. So you go to a place like this, you go to a party, and each one of these people at this party is a celebrity to someone.
Yeah, I mean the most obvious example in my mind is the K-pop groups that were there.
Right.
They're
and they're like
astronomically popular.
And they're like legitimately popular in terms of like the number of people who know that they are.
If you know, you know. And
but
yeah.
It's just so I guess what you're saying, what I was saying last night is it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean what it used to mean at all to be a part of that group, because you go to these things and you don't know who anybody is and they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And so I guess there are still some like certain events or whatever where there are household names or whatever, but it's just, that's why I was just sitting there thinking, who are these people? Who am I? Why am I here? I could be at home with my wife watching a television show right now.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I was like, wow, I'm meeting Flavor Flav. And then it quickly dawned on me that I didn't know what to talk to Flavor Flav about. So I just say,
don't mention the clock. You don't mention the clock.
You know, I heard somebody else talking about like when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to give him that story. So I was like, what's up? I'm Link. And then he was like, hey, he was friendly. And I said, I do stuff on YouTube. I just went ahead and just let him have it.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, cool, man, I've seen some YouTube. I was like, oh, what do you watch on YouTube? He was like, I don't really watch much on YouTube. I just like being happy for people.
Oh, that's a sweet thing to say.
And I was like, okay, Flavor Flav.
At least he's honest.
That makes me happy. Yeah, that makes me happy, Flavor.
I like being happy for people is a wise thing.
That's cool. And then I looked down at his clock.
What time was it?
And that made me more happy.
Are his clocks always accurate?
I didn't notice if it was running.
I think it's probably the only thing that I would have been thinking about if I had met Flavor Flav. Is the clock real?
Is your clock running, sir?
Is it on time? Or is he like...
Is it set to a specific time that means something to him?
Right, does he set it to a time that... I'm going to act like
this is why you should have been with me talking to people.
I don't like it, man.
But I'm sure everybody likes to talk about his clock. I mean, that's the main thing. I didn't want to talk about that. I didn't want to talk about...
I also never know what to say.
I didn't know.
I was sitting with Stevie. I was like, I think one of the reasons I don't like this environment is I'm not good at making a first impression. And I never know what to say until we went to another event the other day, and you had met Rich Roll, podcaster, ultra marathoner guy. And I'm a big fan of Rich Roll, right? Yeah. And I've watched...
And I didn't know who he was.
I
liked him.
But you got to know him at this event that I didn't go to. And then he's at this other event, and so you go up to say, hey, tell him, I'm like, oh crap, that's Rich Roll. And I go up, and I just realized that I'm a big fan of this guy. I have nothing at all to say, other than I'm a big fan.
Right.
Then, so the initial interaction is like, I don't bring anything to the table other than I'm just tall.
It's hard to, with no prep.
But then he goes...
If you knew you were going to meet him and you thought about it.
He goes away, and then I think of 5 things that I want to talk to Rich Roll about. Because when you give me a second, give me a few minutes, I can be prepared. And then I couldn't find him.
You could have told him, like, Rich, I don't know what to talk to you about right now, but I know it'll come to me and I'm going to find you.
Maybe I need to have like a card that I hand to people that I'm interested to talk to. I may not seem interesting right now.
But I will be
in moments. Moments from now, I will be very interesting.
And if you write enough on the business card,
I'm very bad at making first impressions.
By the time they're finished with the card, you'll be ready.
No, I need. It's got to be
a
pamphlet.
Can step away.
Maybe it's a pamphlet.
What you need 5 minutes.
I think I need 7 minutes to become interesting.
Sometimes I'm instantly interesting, and sometimes I'm just not on my A game, and I'm never interesting. Last night I was very duddish, but I was still friendly, and so I wrapped up the conversation with Flavor. I was like, "You're a legend. It's great to meet you." But then instead of walking away, I stood there.
Oh no!
Because I really wanted to come up with something else to talk to him about.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't there.
And I kind of looked at the DJ. I kind of focused on what the DJ was doing, and studying that. And he was kind of hem-hawing around. And then I said, so what else are you up to in town or something like that? I restruck up a conversation. Shouldn't have done that.
Wow, I'm glad.
And he was like,
man.
well, you know, man, I'm just doing my thing.
Right.
He's not a conversationalist.
Yeah.
So it didn't go anywhere. And then I was
Flavor
like, all
Flav-
right, see ya. And I gave him 2 goodbyes.
Ooh. Flavor Flav
Which-
is waiting for you to say interesting things so then he can hype you up. He's not.
Yeah, boy.
Right. He doesn't want.
That's right.
He's not looking. He's like,
not-
what do you got?
I'm asking
what do you
Flavor
got that
Flav
I
to
can
give
support?
me thoughtful conversation, which as we've already established,
Yeah, man.
he needed to just hype.
You got to say some Chuck D type shit.
I knew that Tommy Richman was there because I had heard that he was there, and members of Backstreet Boys, which I really, I was like, okay, if I see AJ, I might give him a moment, but I'm not gonna seek him out. But Tommy Richman, the $1 Million Baby, some would argue the song of the summer, billion views on that.
Even I had heard this
billion,
song. I had heard the song.
billion streams, guys.
Mostly
almost on Spotify
on TikTok.
alone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not even counting TikTok.
No, I'm
just
saying
on Spotify.
I've heard
But-
it on TikTok.
And then I never saw him. And then we were leaving, and Stevie got in the Uber. And then as I walked around to get into the Uber, I was like, oh, there he is on the street. I was like, what's up, Tommy? And he knew who I was. He was like, no. His crony said, no way.
He had a little posse.
And then I was like, because they knew us, I was like, well, you gotta meet Rhett and Stevie. And then Stevie didn't get out of the car because she was ready to go.
Yeah.
You had one leg in the car and you turned around. And
I
got
turned
out.
around and got out.
And then that moment, the most amazing thing happened. And I saw it happen right in front of me. And I'm gonna let you tell it because it's your story to tell. But I'm just gonna tell you right now that it was the most amazing thing that happened last night at that party. Not just to us.
And I think this might
but
be
to anybody.
It might be my new thing.
This is so super amazing, and if you're trying to say it's your thing, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to make it a thing because it was the serendipity of it, I think is irreplicable.
No. I thought about this and I think I can recreate it. But this is what happened. After some scattered conversation.
Where I said like, hey, you're from Virginia, we're from North Carolina. I was having a good time talking to him.
Right.
Then
you took a picture with him.
Not yet.
Oh, before that. So I was getting back into the car because
it was the end of the conversation. It was a goodbye.
Well, because Stevie
not a hello.
was like,
I thought it happened first, but it happened last.
It was the last thing because Stevie, it was her Uber account and she's making this guy wait. She didn't want to get in less than 5 stars because of us. So Stevie's like sticking her head out of the car and like, okay, guys.
Momming it up.
And I was like, all right, I'm coming, Mom.
Boys, it's time to go.
And so it was cool to get to talk to the members of his posse because they were they knew who we were and had been watching. One guy had been watching for like 10 years. It was cool. And so then as I'm leaving, I'm going down the line and shaking their hands. And let me just say, this is a whole nother thing that I really don't. There's different ways to shake hands, okay? I'll say this I know. And there's the way that I shook hands with people growing up, right?
Like
which is typically what I do.
A business shake?
And then there's all the other forms of dabbing. Is it dapping? It's not dabbing, that's a different thing.
Dap. Give me some dap.
There's those things, and I've never really figured that out. I don't know exactly what's happening.
You've got to figure it out.
I don't know exactly what to do.
I think when the hand starts high and there's a look on your face, it's a little bit of a smile, then you know you're coming in for the elbow. I'm calling that the elbow, but that's the thumb.
Yeah, that's important.
The thumb.
You look at the elbow to make it hit, though.
Yeah. But actually, the way to do it is you do a regular shake.
Yeah, and then
do a regular shake,
then you turn
then
it
you do
into
that.
And then you come in.
And then you give them.
But then there's something that happens at the end sometimes, where it's just, and sometimes.
A thumb wrestle? No. You're not.
What I'm just saying is I'm never ready for it. So
you're giving up on too much. Parties, handshakes. Just tell them the miracle that happened.
But sometimes I don't know what we're doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'll just be honest with you. I was like,
is that what was happening?
I was like, these guys, 4 of them, I know that they're hip hop guys.
They probably used to a certain type of shake.
All 4 of them are white. So I was like, I don't know what handshake we're doing. And as I entered into the thing, I'll just be honest with you, this is what I'm thinking.
I'm a 47-year-old man shaking hands with some hip hop
It's like,
artists.
I'll be honest with you, what I'm bringing.
Do I dictate the energy of this
Right,
interaction?
I'm not trying to control the situation, but
Right.
if I'm bringing a handshake, it's a 47-year-old white guy handshake. And it comes in like this. That's what it does. The fish enters the aquarium like this.
Right, four fingers forward.
But is open to whatever happens. Okay? And I think that they sensed my whiteness in that moment, and they just shook the fish. Then I got to the last two guys, which was Tommy, and I think the guy that makes music with him.
And they were right in front of me, so I had a perfect vantage point for this.
And it was one of those things where Tommy brought his hand out first, and then the other guy brought his hand out second, but had been going down the line, and so I was going for Tommy's hand, and the last second, a new fish came into the aquarium, and it was the other guy's hand.
Right.
And so I routed the fish.
I'm Tommy's hand, and Tommy's hand's out.
Yeah, and so I'm going
But there's another guy.
New fish comes in, and so I come over to this one. I grab his hand.
You got the back of his hand.
No, his hand was normal. His hand was another right hand.
Oh, we don't have enough of those.
I grabbed his right hand.
Yes.
And then I just kept going and grabbed Tommy's hand too. Because I thought in that moment, I bet you I can get both of these hands in my hand.
It was your hand was the net, and their hands were the fish.
I shook both of their hands at the same time.
I mean, you were trolling, baby, and I'm talking about in a fishing sense.
And then everyone noticed it because as soon as I grabbed both of them, I was like, "There you go!"
And you kept it.
I said I grabbed them tight.
Yeah, you kept it.
Once I realized I had both of them,
And it never happened before.
Nope.
I mean, had it ever happened anywhere before?
It was a crowd pleaser.
It did not happen at a Billboard Music Awards
it's
after party.
The main thing that they were talking about the rest of the night. So I do think I can do it again.
But right after that, I was so amazed. I exclaimed, "Whoa! I want to do that."
Oh, did you then do it?
Yeah, I do it.
Oh, I was already in the car. As soon as I shook two hands, I just got into the car with Stevie. I was like, I George Costanza.
That is the moment right
Costanza at my ass.
That is the moment to be gone. And then here I'm like, "Hey, can I do that too?" And boom, it was easier than I thought.
Yeah. Well, the way to do it in the future is if I'm coming over here to shake this person's hand and I'm gonna keep their hand and just go and grab the other hand. It's gonna become my thing, maybe.
It's like gathering leaves in a garden or something.
Yeah.
You keep adding to the number.
I think I could hold three hands.
You could triple deep it.
I could probably
But the problem.
hold four of a smaller person.
Okay. The problem, though, is how on earth do you do this without a prior discussion? Like, even having just seen you do it, in order for me to then do it, I had to say, I'd like to also do that.
If I see two hands extended, next time
Just scoop them up.
I'll do it.
Just scoop them up.
I think a good opportunity would be
And you got a big hand,
but
so do I.
Like a funeral line where the family is lined up.
Yeah,
And you're
especially
greeting
if
all of them. I think I
it's-
can grab one of their hands and move it to the next person.
especially if it's early on in the line, because like you're gonna get distant cousins, distant relatives of the deceased.
You want to experiment with the extended
and you
relatives.
want to, if you don't know them, you get 3 or 4 of them at once and just like, sorry for all of y'all's loss, and then move on.
Yeah.
But when you get to the next of kin type thing,
Next to kin,
I
I'm
don't
shaking
think you-
that one.
I don't
That's
think
a
you wanna-
one-on-one thing.
You don't want to be doing any flounder stacking.
I'm dapping up the next to kin. Once I get next to the coffin, I go straight in for the dap.
So I'm calling this flounder stacking, but it's because it's a specific fish that's, has its eyes on one side, which is like a hand.
Flounder stacking?
If there were eyes on a hand.
I think we should maybe call it gigging.
Nope, but
flounder, you gig
listen
a flounder.
to me though. Well, first of all, you agree that it's a flounder because if eyes had hands, both eyes would be on the, no, if hands had eyes, both eyes would be on the same side of the hand, like a flounder.
Not in Pan's Labyrinth.
Argue
one
with
hand
me.
on the, I was like this.
That's 2 hands, that's not.
It was a hand on each eye.
I know, but a hand is a fish. We've
Guillermo.
already established that.
Okay.
One hand is a fish that has 2 eyes. They're on
You're right.
one side of the hand, like a flounder. And then if you're gonna stack multiple, you're flounder stacking. That's what I'm calling it.
Well,
You invented it, so you can call it anything you want, but
yeah, I haven't named it yet. I got to do it again. And I think you got to do it without permission.
fish, that's what I'm saying.
This
You
isn't the
can't-
kind of thing you have to ask for consent for.
No, once the
Touching
hands
somebody's
are out,
hand is okay,
yeah.
right?
But the person in the middle is having an interesting
I think
experience.
consent starts at the elbow. I mean, I don't know for sure, and I'm not the one who determines it. It probably is from person to person. But I'm just saying that if you have to draw bodily consent somewhere, it's probably the elbow.
Well, I think if you reduce it to below the wrist, I think you've got quite a case from a basketball perspective.
Ball is part of the hand. Hand is part of the ball.
Right. Hand is part of the ball.
Hand is part of the ball.
So I don't think you need consent for that part if it's already extended to stack them.
Right.
Name it what you want, but the working title is Flounder Stacking, and try it. Call us and let us know if it's worked. And for it to count, you can't explain it ahead of time.
Yeah, you have to seize the opportunity.
And if you got to get so you almost want to orchestrate people to be shoulder to shoulder for a hello or a goodbye to identify the opportunity, and you have to make it happen. So that the awareness that it exists is when you're doing it to them. Mm-hmm. So with that criteria, call us and let us know if you're having success with temporarily at least named flounder stacking. 1-888
Earpod One.
Shout out to Tommy Richman.
And shout out to the Sherpa pullover that Link is wearing.
I am nuts for this merch item.
It might be the softest thing we've ever made.
That you can scoop up for 30% off for a limited time. What's that limited time?
Well, today
is
the last day to get 30% off everything at mythical.com. Because this is
every single thing at mythical.com is 30% off, including this
through
Sherpa.
Cyber Monday. So if it's after Cyber Monday, then you miss the opportunity, but you can still get this thing.
It is the softest Sherpa you could imagine.
And I like that. I like that logo.
It's just as soft on the inside as the outside.
It's got our the mythical color scheme there.
It's got a little.
It looks like you work at a cool ski resort.
Thank you. Now that I've promoted it, I'm going to take it off because I am hot.
It's very warm. It does
warm in here.
It does a lot of work.
You know, with the holidays coming around, your finances can really take a hit, you know? You might need to borrow from savings or find yourself increasing your debt for holiday expenses.
Yeah, we've all been there, spending more than we should during the holidays. Well, take control of your finances by using a Chime checking account with features like no monthly or maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit.
Here's how it works. Set up direct deposit in your Chime account. After a qualifying direct deposit of $200 or more, Chime will notify you to enroll in SpotMe.
With an activated debit card, Chime will spot you up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance. Chime never charges overdraft fees for using SpotMe.
To date, Chime has spotted members over $32 billion in transactions through SpotMe. Eligible members get complimentary boosts so you can temporarily increase a friend's SpotMe limit. And when you give a boost, they can boost you back to temporarily raise your limit.
Enjoy the holidays while keeping your financial goals on track with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/ear.
That's chime.com/ear. Chime feels like progress.
Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Direct deposit timing depends on submission of payment file.
Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs and for OTC withdrawals. Ear Biscuits is brought to you by BetterHelp.
You know, one of my favorite parts of the holiday season is when you forget what day it is.
Yeah, because they're all the same.
There's basically one time during the entire year in which you're like, it could be Saturday, it could be Wednesday, and I could not tell you. I'm gonna have to look at my phone.
It's like you're retired.
Because you've disengaged from the hustle and bustle of life.
For some people, it's wrapping up in a blanket with a mug of hot chocolate. I could dig it. They think that's the best way to spend the month of December.
Well, therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the season changes.
We are huge advocates of therapy, so we want it to be as accessible as possible. So if you're thinking of starting, give BetterHelp a try.
It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ear today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ear.
Okay.
Let's listen to a voicemail.
Hey, Rhett Link. I'm Alex, and I'm from Texas, currently going to Texas A&M. And I believe as I'm sending this, you guys are actually on tour here. So I wish I could be there, but I hope it's going well. Anyway, my question is I'm an art student at A&M, like I said. And one of my classes next semester is life drawing, where you're drawing a naked female model every class. And so as a straight male to two other straight males who have done this before twice, I was wondering if you guys have any advice for me going into it, or maybe some like jokes or icebreakers, you know, to like clear the air of any awkwardness. So yeah, please let me know, and thanks.
Yeah, we have done this twice.
One time it was drawing, the other time it was sculpting.
Yep, and it was,
And we've each done a male and a female.
yep. And I made it weird, but let's just say that was completely for comedic
But you were doing
purposes.
it on an entertainment show. You
Yeah,
weren't
if I
doing
was
it in a
just doing
class.
it in an art class, I wouldn't
You
have
wouldn't make
been
it weird.
saying all that stuff. I'd have just been thinking it.
I-
Knockers,
I'll say that doing this
boobaloobaloobies.
as a college student, for me, this, I wasn't nearly as mature then as I am now. This would have been,
Right. You enjoyed parties occasionally.
this would have
and-
been a little different for me
Yep.
at the time. I don't know how well I would have composed myself. But I think when you talk about these icebreakers, these jokes,
Don't make jokes.
I think what you have to figure out is how many times this model has done this. Because icebreakers are only necessary if this is their first time doing it or like among their first times doing it. But if this is someone who is a seasoned nude model, and I don't mean they literally have like a barbecue rub on them,
that would be nice.
which would be something to sketch.
Yeah, get a little texture on it.
Can oil them up and then put some barbecue rub on them and then
Yeah.
paint them.
And then technically, they're clothed.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
it's like body paint,
Yeah.
but it's rub.
yeah. This is another good idea for a different occasion.
But if they're a seasoned nude model, then this is like you sometimes if you go to the proctologist, and I have, and you know that you're gonna get, that at some point during this encounter that you're gonna have this person's digits in your ass.
Yeah, I love how we both wanted to say digit.
When you shake that hand,
Like, why did I know you were going to say digit?
when the doctor walks in and you shake his hand, you are shaking the hand, most likely the hand that will be in your ass in moments.
Right.
And everybody knows this. But he's done it
I would
so
prefer
often.
for it to be the other hand.
It depends on it. Sometimes there is a school, I think west of the Mississippi, it's usually the left hand.
Okay.
But what you got to understand is that all of your jokes about breaking the ice, it's just for you, right? It's just for you, and so just keep it to
ice for
yourself.
them. It's just water for them.
What you want to do with a proctologist or a well-seasoned nude model is you want to act like, I do this every day.
I get digited. Every
It's
day.
like basically.
Is that what
like-
you're saying?
Yeah. Well, you want the proctologist to think,
I get
I have fingers in my ass all the time.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't have to say that literally.
Yeah, but figuratively.
But just
think it.
just a second ago, I had a finger in my ass. Not a big deal. You want to communicate that energy that you've had fingers in the ass so regularly that in fact, you have to be told that there's a finger in your ass because you don't even know it anymore. You're so comfortable with it. And if you give off that kind of energy, then you bring the temperature down.
Mm-hmm. And there's products for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can probably get one that's finger shaped.
Right. So I think you're trying to do the same thing with this nude model. Like you want the energy to be that just before I walked in here, I was looking at a naked lady.
Right. In person.
Maybe not, maybe on your phone.
No, no, I think it has to be.
I was looking at porn all morning before to prepare for this.
No, that's tasteless.
No. You were looking at pictures, not video, and not sexual, just poses.
Nude art. That's
I've been looking
That's not
at
porn.
Yeah. I've been looking at nude art all morning.
You can do that to prime your pump. Well, wrong terminology. To just get ready. But I mean, I don't think you have to talk to them at all. You're in a class, dude. It's not like us. It wasn't just like two goofballs talking to a naked chick and a naked man with his bits just dangled over the edge of a stool.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, talk about something seared into my memory. His bits dangled over the edge of a stool is not something that I just want to be able to recall as easily as I do.
Your guy was on a stool. My guy, the first time, was not. He was standing. So his bits were just sort of dangling in the air. A little different. It didn't look like someone peering over a cliff, like in your scenario.
Yeah.
Like a snake deciding if it was going to crawl off the side of a cliff.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long ways down.
I'm going to crawl over these two boulders and go off of this cliff. Mm-hmm. The thing that you don't want to do.
That's how I drew it too.
The thing that you don't want to do
back at it.
when you're looking at a nude model.
Don't look at the bits.
Well,
first.
Don't make any noises. Don't go like,
No.
Like you don't want to.
Or, ugh.
Yeah, you don't want to, and you might do this involuntarily. So
be ready to cover it up with a cough.
This is why you might want to practice looking at naked ladies and not making sounds. Just because that's the last thing you want to do. Make any sort of grunting.
You just need, it's exposure therapy. The more they expose themselves to you, the more that you'll get used to it. Yes. And every week they're gonna be, it's gonna be old hat. Your problem is gonna become that you're just too chill with nudity. That's what you need to be concerned about, is losing any arousal to nudity.
They switch out the models pretty often. I was a figure model in college.
Oh, wow, Jenna.
I was a figure model in these classes.
What?
Yeah.
You were naked?
I was naked. Yeah.
Wow, how many classes did you do this for?
Were we supposed to already know this?
I don't know if you already
We did
know
it
this.
twice and you didn't say?
I told
you
the
could've been the one?
producers. No, I wouldn't have done that. I don't want, not for you all.
Yeah, I think that.
Well, it's old hat for you.
It is an old hat for me. Yeah.
Well, okay. How did this come about, and then how many times did you do it?
I saw in the art building that they were in need of nude models, and I saw the rate and was like,
I
was like, okay.
You make more than giving plasma? $40 an hour?
No, I didn't make more than giving plasma, but I didn't qualify for giving plasma. My veins were too small. Okay. So it was $25 an hour.
That's good for a nude model.
It was $25 an hour back in 2008. So that was pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
How many times did you do this?
I don't know. I've for a couple semesters.
Wow.
It wasn't every week because they switch out the models often. It was on availability. So,
did you run into any awkward situations where, listen, college dudes, we've been them and we've met many, where they had this interaction with you and then later they saw you and tried to talk to you?
I had an awkward experience, but it was really funny.
Let's hear it.
So I was at like a theater kids party because I was a theater major, and I was like meeting a bunch of new people there and everything. And
nude people?
New.
Oh, okay.
New people. I was meeting new people because I just said yes to becoming a theater major, and I was trying to get to know everyone. So I was at the party. And I was talking to one of the other theater majors, and we were trying to figure out where we probably knew each other. So we were like, I was like, oh, it's like, no, I don't think, but we went through like classes we had. And then I like looked at him and I was like, are you in intro to figure drawing? And the realization in his eyes, the moment I knew he figured it out,
Oh, wow.
was priceless. And I just
Apparently he hadn't been looking at your face much.
and I just go, yeah, I'm in your portfolio. Hi.
I'm in your portfolio.
And then his face got red at that point?
He got a little flustered, but then it was fine because I was like, listen,
in your
I
portfolio.
sign up for those classes. So yeah, anyone at the University of Tennessee from 2009 to May 2008 to 2009, 2010, I might be in your portfolio if you took those classes.
1-888.
No, we need an email address for that.
yeah.
No, I don't. Don't
But
mail us your portfolio.
The teachers didn't. The students didn't really talk to us. It was
don't
the
talk,
it was
right?
the it was the professor or the like grad assistant. If there was
The
a
first
break,
time you did it, though.
what?
The first time you did it. Do you
First time I did
remember?
it was really scary and nerve wracking. I like was sweating. I was, but
You
like
come out in a robe.
I wanted to try something new and do something scary, and I was like, you know what? I'm not ashamed.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was scary.
Did you? I mean, was it a stadium seating?
It was in the round. There, I was on a podium and
Whoa,
everyone was circled.
every angle.
Every angle.
Were you on a lazy Susan? Was somebody slowly spinning you?
No,
No,
but
because you wanted to stay the same for each person.
So
well,
some people,
it depended on like what we were doing that day. So to warm up me and the artists, they would do like 30 seconds.
I certainly hope it's warm if I ever do it.
Yeah, like 30-second poses where you move and then they just focus on quick brush strokes or a thing.
Okay.
And then you get into longer form and then they might shift you around a bit. But it just depended. If it was cold in there, they'd have a heater for me and let me wear socks.
Some
And
people
you
are
was-
into that.
Okay. And so at first you were sweating, and then
I was
you got
really nervous
addicted
at first
to it.
because it was scary.
Is that what happened?
Naked in front of a large group of
But then it had to
people.
become freeing at some point, right?
Yeah, it became freeing at some point, and then it became just totally normal. But yeah, there'd be breaks, and I'd put my robe back on, and I'd get to walk around and see what people had drawn, which is
Oh, you
really
would talk to the students at that
Well,
point.
just like we did, right?
occasionally. Yeah,
I remember it being at
Knockers.
The very beginning. It was like this
That's
is
what I would say.
This is this is a new experience for me. But then I was really surprised at how quickly it seemed very normal that I
Yeah.
was just painting or sculpting or whatever we did.
We were actually trying to art.
And so I think it becomes like, it goes from being potentially sexualized to very much just like, this is a human body.
yeah.
Happens really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the woman who was there the first time, who you painted,
Yeah.
she came to something.
She showed up at a.
Was it the Wonderhole premiere or something? It was something.
Oh yeah.
And
She's clothed.
it was one of those, but it is one of those things that like,
Because she's
she's a friend
of a crew member.
Yeah. And so when they introduced her and was like, you know her, and it's like, she dawns on you like this guy,
Yeah,
right? It
yeah.
dawns on you like, oh, yes, I've seen you naked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I said something.
You're in my portfolio.
I said something like, good to see you again. And there's obviously, like, in my voice was.
I don't mean to be weird, but my portfolio consists of only you naked.
But
and
she
that's it.
she
So-
knew, like, she knew, like, she had been there for us doing it, being idiots. So
Yeah.
it actually wasn't that awkward.
I think it's good to put yourself out there, or whether you're drawing or you're modeling. I think it's just keep it appropriate.
Yeah, but I think we gave some good advice. Don't make grunting noises. You know,
We don't need to review the advice.
look at
Yes,
nude
they got
pictures
it.
before you show up.
They got it.
I
cetera.
approve of your advice. Yeah.
Okay, be ready. Be ready.
Okay. Let's hear another.
Hey, Rhett Link. This is Nelly. So I have a quick question for both of you guys. You guys have both had children. My wife is currently pregnant. I'm really, really stressed about what happens in the delivery room. So I was just wondering, what is my role in the delivery room? What are some do's and don'ts of the actual day where, we're in the hospital and she's in labor? And do I get a push present? I know that's something that has recently come about in social media and all that. Do I get a push present, and what should it be? Alrighty. Thank you, guys, and have a wonderful day.
Congratulations, first of all. Mm-hmm. Push present.
The internet, man.
What?
We didn't have this kind of stuff.
Okay, so a push present, I just found out right before recording this, is a present that you give the mom after having a baby. And I didn't know this was a thing.
But it certainly seems like an opportunity arises from this.
Oh, it's so hard for me to not have a negative reaction. Okay, so they've invented another thing that it's like a holiday. It's just to get a gift. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving gifts and showing love, but like, I don't know, it's just something rubs me the wrong way.
It's just fine. Hey, listen, that's what we do, man. We're humans. We find ways to remix
you're supposed
the
to
human
give
experience.
Push present. You're supposed to do that, and then you're all worried about that.
No. Don't see it as an obligation. See it as an opportunity.
For what? Because this is him supposed to be giving her a present that's not the child, by the way.
Listen.
That doesn't count.
I think that this is potentially great because as you know.
Can I just get, before you talk about how great it is, let me get all of my negativity out so we don't have to come back to it.
Okay.
I just feel like this is something that social media and celebrities came together and created.
Of course. It's a cultural thing.
Oh, did you see what Mariah Carey got on Entertainment Tonight? Last night they said that Nick Cannon gave her a big diamond necklace as a push present. Have you heard of this concept? No, because it didn't exist before. Somebody just got a present and then somebody at Extra called it a push present, and then somebody on Instagram put a hashtag in front of it, and now we're all obligated.
We're not obligated.
And there's expectations, and it's not about parenthood or the beauty of delivery or any of that stuff. It's about, okay, are you gonna be upset with me?
I don't think that's how you should be interpreting it. Is it a construct? Of course, but everything is a construct, man.
Some things don't need to be constructed. It's like, so you have to, there's this pressure to like give an extravagant gift. And I don't like that. It's like,
who says it has to be extravagant?
all the money, because that's what the celebrities do. And that's where it started. So then everybody's like, well, now I've got to pony up. Like, do you understand the expense associated with childbirth? And then what you've signed up for in terms of expenses for the rest of their life? I mean, the last thing you want is to add on some extravagant piece of jewelry that you gotta start paying for.
Oh, so it's jewelry now?
I think it's. I mean, when I just Googled push present at the very top, now all these shops, it's like it's just lockets and keychains and dumb shit to hang around your neck to help you remember a special moment.
Hey, listen.
I know I'm being a bad boy right now.
We've heard you. We've heard you.
But I'm done.
We got it.
I'm done, and you can change my mind.
So, Link, without a doubt, a push present is a construct that exists in the context of a capitalistic system that is designed to squeeze all the resources out of the proletariat. Okay?
Okay. Go on.
We know this, and we gladly participate in it because we don't have an alternative. Okay?
Well, you're deciding not to go to parties, so you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth.
But
I'm not going to parties, but I am pro push present.
But might I add that a man being in a monogamous relationship with a woman and being present for the birth is also a social construct. There are times in the past.
Screw that.
No, I'm just saying
joking.
I'm just saying it's a social construct that you don't question that.
Yeah, I'm not against social constructs. I'm against
you feeling
additional
obligated to be there. It could be that like, oh, she goes off and she's with the other women and they just come back with a baby. You don't even know which one made it.
That's good, but buying something. Yeah.
Okay. But I think you just got to reinterpret this thing because you got to see this as not an obligation, but an opportunity. I was there for both of the births of my kids. They were very different. The first one was long, laborious, literally and figuratively. But Jesse was able to have all the drugs, including an epidural, that made it somewhat tolerable. And of course, the second time with Shepard, he came so quickly that she was not able to get any of those things. Ooh. And she screamed repeatedly. I think I described it as if she was about to be hit by a car. You know, like the kind of scream that you could imagine happens right before an accident. And it just kept happening, and I felt somewhat helpless.
You know what helped? A locket. Here, honey, let me put this locket around your neck while you're in excruciating pain. And doing something miraculous that I have very little to do with.
Not only do you had a little bit to do with it in one particular moment.
Just a little.
Not only is a push present, not only is giving the wonderful mother who is bringing life into this world a gift in the midst of this, maybe one way to take the edge off. I'm not thinking push present, I'm thinking push presents. I'm thinking we turn this into a Hanukkah situation.
Okay.
I'm saying
with each contraction,
you get to the hospital, you get something.
Okay.
You settle into the bed, I push out another push present.
Baby advent calendar.
And what I want to do is I want to go full capitalist on this, and I want to have a product that is a little, like 1 foot tall mom doll that has a giant belly. And every time she does something, I push one of the push presents out of the doll. So the doll is giving birth to presents. I got to push on the belly, and I pop one out, whatever. It's a surprise which one's going to come out. It's like a pinata.
Probably broken at that
It's like
point.
A pinata with a slit in it that I'm pushing presents out of. And I basically like...
Oh, it's a locket, but I broke it when I pushed it out.
It doesn't have to be a locket.
Yeah, apparently it needs to be a locket.
That feels sexist to begin with.
I'm just saying.
That you're thinking that the only thing you can give a pregnant woman is a locket.
Nothing but lockets, amulets, and...
I think it might need to be candy of some kind. Can you eat while in labor? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's ice chips or something is what they give you. I'm just saying you can put your the mother of your child, you can put in there the things that she wants, and you can push them out throughohout the process.
You're changing my mind. This is great. And
because
here's why.
I felt helpless. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, she's
every
over
time
here,
she screamed, I screamed.
She's enduring
I wasn't helping.
Tremendous pain in a beautiful scenario of the miracle of life coming forth, and you're over in the corner playing with a doll. If I'm trying to squeeze
I'm squeezing presents out of the
Nothing's
doll's
coming
vagina and giving them to my wife.
It's coming out of this doll. Can I get a nurse? Can I get a nurse to help me deliver these push presents? Doctor.
Push present Patty. Now with up to 16 push presents inside.
Up to.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah.
Because I agree with you, Link. I think a present for everything is a little silly. But after your partner gives birth, if I were to give birth, which I have no intention of, but if I were, right afterwards, I'm gonna want those soft cheeses I haven't been able to eat. I'm gonna want those deli meats I haven't been able to eat.
Get deli meats
I'm gonna want sushi that I haven't been able to eat. That would be push presents that I would want. Give me the foods that I haven't been able to eat for 9 months.
That's not a present.
Would you want them to come out of a doll?
That is a present to me.
Yes, it is, but
that is
you
a
will
present
get
to
that.
me.
You will get that, and you deserve that.
I want it immediately after the birth.
And
Let's go.
And you know what? Christy got that. Jesse got that. I
would consider that a push present?
Well, that's because it exists now. Like back when we gave it, it didn't exist.
When you say soft cheese, do you mean like Cheese Whiz? Because I could get that to come out of a doll.
Like some brie, like
okay.
like blue cheese, brie. This like
Absolutely.
unpasteurized dairy.
Not Cheese Whiz.
Mom should get
That's totally
whatever she
pasteurized dairy.
wants. She needs to be rewarded and semi-worshipped for what she has accomplished. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
But-
he didn't just ask about push presents, though. He's also like any tips for being ready, doing the right thing in the moment. You know, we had very different experiences with that because
Christy took forever, and then they just wheeled her into a place and cut her open like a ripe watermelon.
right.
And I was a little afraid to watch that, but the
you
doctor
did.
made me.
You did.
I was hiding behind the curtain.
I'm actually really surprised
If
you
you're
made
doing a
it through that.
C-section, if a C-section is being done on your partner, they'll put up a surgical barrier, like a curtain.
So you don't have to watch.
So it's like from the collarbones up, and you're on that side. You're with the head of the mother partner.
It's so she doesn't have to watch, really, I think. Herself get cut open.
Probably, but because it was only like a foot and a half above her. But then the doctor told me to stand up and watch this miracle happen.
Oh, he sensed weakness.
And I was like, "You want me to stand up at this moment?" Yeah, he smelled the weakness and discomfort.
well,
the queasy.
With Shepard, it wasn't even our doctor. I don't even know who it was.
Right, it's just somebody.
It could have been an administrator at the hospital. It was just somebody who was willing to do it.
Yeah, just grab an ankle, plop him right out. Just keep your cool. This is not about you.
Yeah, don't complain about anything in your life or with your experience during this.
Don't.
Don't be like, it's cold in here. Don't say anything don't complain about anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about you in that moment.
Ask her if he thinks it's cold. Maybe be like, "How's the temperature for you?"
Yeah.
Just be
That's good.
take it to her.
Would you like to yell at me to get some of your frustration out?
Yeah.
Even things like that. Like, expect yelling. If it's directed towards you, just absorb it.
Well, push present patty comes in a material that is like a squishy thing. So you can also
Stress ball?
It's a stress ball. The head of push present patty
Gets bigger.
Can be completely enveloped in your
So
fist.
as you're pushing out, you're also stress balling.
Well, if you push the head, nothing comes out. That's just
No, but if you squeeze the body, the head gets bigger, like in one of those stress balls.
yep.
This is a product. You've really done it.
Yeah.
You've created a product
Now with
to
soft
then
cheeses,
deliver products.
soft cheeses, deli meats.
Well, have you? You know, I what are you going to get me for my push present? And I certainly hope it comes out of push present patty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send you the TikTok.
Okay.
You know, that type of thing.
I think we solved that one. Let's take one more.
Hey guys, I have a question for Rhett. Link, you're perfect and I love you, so you can do no wrong. Rhett, I know that you don't say the word wolf correctly, but I also realize that you have a hard time saying dolphin and golf, so I know that it's the OLF that you have an issue with, and I just wanted to know why how come?
Wow.
That's it. My name is Katerina, by the way. I know you guys usually forget when people say it in the beginning. So.
Thank you, Katerina.
Katerina. I do appreciate you saying the name at the end. Could you say the G word real quick?
Golf?
Now say the W word.
Wolf.
Okay. Those don't rhyme, right?
I know. Golf. Wolf. Wolf.
Just want to make sure I'm not going
Wolf.
crazy.
But there is an L in both. So now you say
well,
'em.
there's a OLF.
Now you say them.
Golf.
All right, there's almost no L there. Say the W word.
Wolf.
No L at all. Where the L is it? All right, what about like
Hold on, but
somebody who studies noses?
Hold on. Don't move so fast.
I'm gonna come back to it.
No, let's stick on one word. I'm gonna say a word, I want you to say it back, and I want us to go back and forth. Because I'm trying to hear the difference, okay?
Okay.
Golf.
Golf. Golf.
Golf.
Golf.
Golf. Golf.
Golf.
Yeah, you're saying it like me.
Golf. Oh, there's a L.
The first time you said it, you had more of an L.
Golf.
Golf.
Golf. Golf.
Now, if it was Goff,
Golf.
if it was Goff, I would say goff.
Golf.
Goff. Growing up, Goff would have been golf.
Golf.
Gawf. Golf.
Well, yeah.
And I think that I still say Goff and Golf the same way that I would have said it growing up.
So you're saying with a southern accent.
With a W.
With a southern accent.
I pronounce golf, well, in my brain, I'm hearing Gawf, golf.
Golf.
And then I'm doing my less accented version, golf.
Golf. And I'm saying GOLF, which is golf.
Say it again?
Golf.
Golf.
Golf. Golf. There's a little touch of old.
Oh, first of all,
Golf. Golf.
just so you know I say it wrong. I'm not defending myself. I'm not trying to justify. I'm just trying to explain.
What? Because she did say why. I mean, it's not really a fair question. I mean, as much as you love me, it's not a fair question. Hey, you don't say things right. Why? Well,
but also Jessie makes fun of me because she says I can't say UL words like vulnerable. Vulnerable. I say vulnerable. Vulnerable?
vulnerable. That's what I say. It's not vulnerable. Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Golf.
All right, let's hit the W word.
And this is totally different. If I'm not thinking
And
at
you're
all.
gonna have to tell us why.
Wolf.
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 Those sound so similar to me.
But they're different because you don't have an L. There's a little bit of an L.
Wolf.
There it is.
It just
much.
feels unnecessary.
Too much. You tried to.
Wolf.
Well, your
Wolf.
your whole head is. It's like
Wolf?
It's like you're sending your head over a hill. Wolf.
Wolf.
You shouldn't have to move your
Wolf.
whole head
Wolf.
in order to say.
And if I'm just not thinking and I'm not crying, wolf.
Wolf pack.
Wolf. Wolf.
Wolf pack.
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 Wolf pack. There's an L there. Wolf pack.
But that's not what you say.
Wolf.
You say wolf. Now, why do you do it, Rhett?
I mean, I think it's because
The people need to know.
I mean, I also couldn't say warm for a really long time. I said worm until I was like 10. I was like, make my bath warm, Mom.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just I had a speech impediment. That was isolated to very specific words.
Okay.
Wolf. Wolf. Wolf.
Or
Dolphin. Dolphin.
dolphin.
It's doll and fin.
Dolphin.
But if I'm not thinking, I'd say dolphin.
Bull.
Dolphin.
Here's the thing.
Dolphin.
I think
Dolphin. I think I would say dolphin, which has no
say
L.
the L sound.
L.
No.
Ul.
Ul. Ul.
Ul.
Ul. It's back here. And I think anatomically there's something that's preventing a ul sound. And it's just because you don't put the
Ul.
tongue on the top of the roof of the mouth gives the l. Ul. Ul.
Ul.
And I don't wolf. See, my tongue touches in the back and then in the front. Can you
It
make your
feels like-
tongue?
why do you need to do both of those?
Can you make your tongue touch the back of your throat? The back of your tongue touch the back of your throat. Do that.
I'm doing it right now.
Well, you could look happier about it. And now,
And then the front.
and then make a sound. That's it. That's it. Good.
It just feels unnatural.
And then
Who needs
put the
it?
tip of the tongue.
You know what I'm saying when I say wolf?
With
I say dolphin.
dolphin.
You know I'm talking about a dolphin.
I mean, people make fun of me when I say water. Is it water? No, white.
Because you pronounce the H, which is literally silent.
But I see it. White. And Christy can't say R-O-Y.
Roy?
She can't say that. Woy is what she says. And the more she tries, the worse she gets. Woy.
Those are
Roy.
not the only words that I can't
Roy.
say, by the way.
Rory.
There's a lot of certain combinations of syllables and sounds become like I can't, like my brain will not make sense of them. Like lots of R's and L's and vowels together. It's just sort of like I'm like, yeah, I don't have that. I'd have to really.
You have a small mouth, dude.
Really have to concentrate. It's like
Let's just say it.
Like I'm tone deaf. I also am tone deaf and can't really hear, but I sing.
How's that even possible?
Well, because I concentrate really hard. I'm not completely tone deaf, but I'm just saying that like.
We would know it.
No, do you remember what we sounded like when we would sing in high school?
Well, yes, but
I'm just saying there are some kids who can just sing and this like it's come second nature to them that I can
We had to
hear
dial it
something
in.
and I can sing. And I'm just saying that I feel like
you don't want to say that your mouth is small.
I mean, there's plenty of small mouth people who can say these words. I just think that that's
Are there?
scientifically incorrect.
Are there though? And I'm not talking about the
Surely.
whole, I'm talking about the whole cavity. Like if I really look back in the back.
I don't think
ontologically.
I think it's a
Or,
brain
that's not
thing.
the word.
I think it's a brain thing.
Ontolaryngologically.
I think it's a brain thing. I don't think that
Okay, all right.
it's an anatomical
Hey, if you
thing.
want it to be a brain problem instead of a mouth problem, that seems worse to me.
Because then all children couldn't say dolphin. Which do you notice that children can't say
'Cause they're-
dolphin because their mouths are small?
Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
that's not true. Maybe babies.
I don't listen to
I don't
kids
I don't
talk
have
about dolphins.
I don't have a baby's
Last
mouth.
thing I want is to hear a kid talk about a dolphin.
I don't have a baby's mouth. If I had a baby's mouth, then you would have an argument. I don't have a baby's mouth. I have a small man's mouth.
You have a middle
I'm a big
schooler's
man with a
mouth.
small mouth.
You got a middle school mouth.
I know many middle schoolers who could say dolphin, golf, and wolf without trying, like I just tried very hard.
All right.
I think it's a brain thing. I think that if they had the ability to map my brain and you saw when I said dolphin without thinking about it, there's a neural network
The L neuron.
that is, and also neuron is hard for me to say. Like, again, there's an R
Now
in
you're,
there.
now you're in your head about it. Boy, you really messed him up.
And in some people's brains, it would go through the L section.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my brain, it's optional to go through the L section. It's like I'm in a library and I go right past that part of the.
What about the guy in Rocky IV who played the Russian?
Dolph Lundgren.
Don't try so hard. Dude.
Dolph Lundgren. Dolph? See, I'm saying D-O-F-F. Dolph. Dolph.
I almost hear
Dolph. Dolph?
All right, we've settled it.
I'm not sure we have.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, as much as I sit down with my dad to like help him pronounce things, I've had a bit too much of it. You're doing good.
Yep.
I actually haven't had too much of it. I can't get enough of getting my dad to try to say things.
That's a little different.
That is different,
A little different.
but it feels a little similar.
If
I would have written it down.
hopefully that's a satisfying answer for you, Katarina. Katarina.
Yeah. Katarina.
See, I remembered almost. I could say Katarina. I have a recommendation
you do?
for us. Yeah, we've been skipping out on
Delinquent.
those.
Yep.
But I want to
Knockers.
I want to recommend the movie. It's a 2023 movie, Dream Scenario.
What is that?
It's a movie with Nick Cage. Nick Cage is Nick Cage, right? So he's just a interesting person. And I saw him talking about, I have no trouble saying the word talking.
You've messed him.
I saw him talking about, he said there's only 4 scripts that I've ever been given that when I read them, I was like, I have to make this movie. There's 3 other movies that I can't remember and Dream Scenario.
Okay.
And the premise of the movie is he's a college professor who begins showing up in multiple people's dreams. And it's funny, it's intriguing, in sort of a, absurdist, surrealist way that I really like. So I recommend it.
Start to finish.
If you're
It's a good premise, but when it was all over.
I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Okay, all right, I respect that.
I liked it, and I liked the way it ended.
Okay, oh, well, you just said something. All right, okay. Dream Scenario, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. It's just, there's so many movies that are just not interesting. And there's some movies that are like an original premise that,
there you go.
I'm always
if you're
down
into
for
an original premise.
An original premise.
We had some fun today. I mean, and I didn't feel great at the beginning. You know what? I feel better. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so if you're...
I feel like I've earned a push present.
Whether or not the rest of your day involves a round of golf, hanging out with a wolf pack, or swimming with dolphins, we hope you enjoy all of those things.
All right, and we'll talk at you next week.
Hey, Rhett Link. My name's Emily from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm just listening to the part of the podcast where you describe North Carolina. As a native North Carolinian, I'd like to confirm everything that you said, but especially the college basketball religion portion. I actually grew up going to church, and I have vivid memories of watching college basketball games on one of those rollout TVs as a child. So, thanks for everything you do. Love you guys.